So I want to share our January morning basket. It's a new year, we're back to school, we took all of December off. So my biggest goal this month is to have a good morning basket routine. So not that it takes place in the morning, it's just what the name is. So I'm trying out a loop schedule for that, and I'll explain more as I'm going through the basket. Alright, so here's my morning basket. It's literally a basket. And right at the beginning is our 2 read alouds. So for the month of January, we are reading Julie of the Wolves. And that's mostly just for me and Harry Potter. We're still going through this. This is like our third month reading this. We are 2 chapters. We have 2 chapters left. So we should be finishing this week, if not next week. And then we'll watch the movie, and then I am done reading Harry Potter out loud to my kids. So if you want to learn more, I have a blog post about how I'm handling Harry Potter. So you can check that out to see more details about that. And maybe I'll do a video later. But anyway, that's that. Those are our 2 read alouds. And this is what I start out with. I start out with our read alouds. And then we have the Spot-It game. We haven't played this yet, but Marley got it for Christmas. So we'll probably try to dig into that later this week. And our flashcards. Oh, if I can get them all out. I'll do this one. Kenzie's got her sight word flashcards that she's working through. So I just go through them really quickly with her in the morning. Whoop. If I can do this without destroying my basket. These are just extra addition problems for Miette to work through. And I have Kenzie's already out. She's working on her 2s and 3s. And so that's that. We are also doing a little bit of Spanish, just doing 1 card at a time. So right now we're going through 1 through 5, and we're working on red, blue, and yellow for our cards for Spanish. And we haven't gotten to that one yet. And then I printed out some poems or some quotes, and we were working on memorizing them. So I have a couple of those. We're just doing 1 at a time. And we're also going to memorize the rulers of England, since we're doing Story of the World Middle Ages right now. We are just redoing our Story of the World since we kind of stopped this year. So we're redoing that, and we're going to memorize the rulers of England up until Elizabeth I. And what else is in here? Oops. That's why they fall out. I have some yoga cards to get them to move around when they need to take a little break. We have some space flashcards. We are just starting space this week, so that will be put to use later. Then I have some geography. We're working through our U.S. states. And Miette has some subtraction flashcards. And we have Marley's sight words. She's very slowly learning her sight words, so she's having a hard time, but she's getting there. So she only has a couple. And I think that's it for the sight words, yes. Alright, after that, this only takes us, well, read it aloud probably takes us about 15 minutes. But the flashcards only take us like 2 minutes to get through all those. And then I am looping. Let's see if I can describe this to where you understand. Here's my morning time binder. So I have kind of all our subjects that are in the morning time and what it could entail. Not that we do all of this. And in the back I have our loops. So on Monday we did a language arts, which included a picture book, and then you're not gonna be able to see this. What your first grader needs to know. Is it gonna focus? No. Oh no. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So that's what oops, not gonna focus. Mad Libs, anything language artsy, story cubes, writing, sight words. That's what we did on Monday. Then we also followed it with history, which is Story of the World. I have some picture books in here, and Mr. Noggin game if we want, or and I read a chapter of American history to add that into it. Then, that was all we did on Monday. Then on Tuesday, we had our math loop. So we did more math games that day. We didn't do the language arts and the history. We did math and we did science. Then today I have art and art and history. And then I have extras, which is Spanish, typing, geography, piano. Then I have science again. Then we have a fun schooling loop with we do our thinking tree journals and any workbooks or color by numbers, and then nature study. So that's kind of our loop. So I kind of have it organized a little bit for that loop. So for language arts, we did what your first grader needs to know. I did a literature part of that, and I also did it yesterday for science. I read a little section of the science section. So this kind of goes through all the subjects. I'll just pick that subject, that topic, and read a part of that. That shouldn't go there. And that shouldn't go there. I should have gone through this. Alright, this is Winter Bees, it's poetry, and I had some more other picture books that we were reading that were winter themed, but we read them already on Monday, so I need to refill it again. But this is where I would keep all the picture books for our language arts. And then for our math loop, I'll play a game with Kinsey with its Addition Facts That Stick by Kate Snow. I love that. We'll read a story from the bedtime math and solve that. And I also have math for all seasons, so we'll do one page from that and solve that as a family. And that's the math. Here's the history loop. I just pull out some library books that have to go with our what we're learning in history that week. So this week we're learning about Romans and the Celts. So we've got some Roman books. I just found this. I don't know if somebody gave it to me. I don't know where it came from, but I have this Abeka history book that we're just going to read a chapter and discuss it. That's going to be American history. I have a map for Story of the World, so we can kind of see where we're at in the world. This is a library book that we like to go through. And then there's another library book, so we'll look at the Romans and stuff on, so yeah, ancient Egypt, ancient China, Roman Empire, so we'll look at this page and read all the little snippets. And then we have our science. So like I said, this is just a bunch of picture books and library books that I get that have to do with what we're learning that week. Well, I try to do 2 weeks at a time because I don't go to this library too much. So the sun, I just got those today, but we're not going to do the sun till next week. We're doing the Milky Way this week, so I'll read that tomorrow. We'll read about the stars tomorrow. We've got a biography. And this is just like a random science book that just has random facts in it that we like to go through. Ice storms, because, there we go. Ice storms, animals in the winter, guinea pigs, because Mackenzie is obsessed about pigs and guinea pigs, mountain animal habitat, so they're kind of seasonal too. And we'll just pull 1 or 2 books out when we're doing that loop. And here's our like fun loop, fun and extra. So I have activity book, color by number, this trains, Usborne Trains book. I have these thanking tree journals that we're still working through. These have lasted us like 2 to 3 years. And we're still working through them. That one's Kinsey's, and this one's Miat's. She's had that since first grade, so she's going on, yeah, 3rd year with this one. And it's only halfway done because we don't do it every single day. And then I have coding for using Scratch. So that is it. I do have a Mad Libs coming in the mail today, so I'll have that to add to it, to add for our language arts. And that is our morning time basket.